Most New York City news right now is bad news. 60 to 70% all negative. The other 30 to 40% says that New York City is back, baby. It's on the way. Things are turning around. But these are two opinions on the same set of facts. What's really going on here? What is the truth about New York City right now? That's exactly what we're gonna go find out. Just look at that. You get a great view of the Empire State Building from here. I really don't know what we're gonna find, especially considering that it's 37 degrees out right now. It's not quite freezing, but pretty close to it. Anyways, that's 34th Street, Macy's flagship store. And usually this time of year, this area is absolutely packed and hustling and bustling. So if you've ever been to Macy's, the first floor here is the absolute busiest, but this is actually looking kind of dead, to be honest with you. There's no way a major store like this is going to survive if it doesn't have incredible amounts of foot traffic.
I live here actually.
You do? Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So I came out here to just kind of check out the area and show people what's going on.
Amazing.
Do you think that most of the people that are out here are local to the area? Are they tourists? I know tourism is down. What have you guys been spotting?
I think most of them are local. Definitely changed a lot for sure.
Here we are at our second destination, Times Square. That's one way to keep warm. Now, a lot of the activity that you'd expect to see here from plays and from all of the Broadway activity that's usually going on isn't happening because Broadway's still shut down. It looks like the costumed characters are keeping as warm as they can. I don't really want to get too close to them. You really have no idea what's going on underneath that suit. Right up there is where they drop the ball from. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Usually the crowds are all down in this area watching, but with 2020 and social distancing rules, I have no idea how they're going to do that. It'll be interesting to see. The naked cowboy's here, and somehow in 30-degree weather, he's still naked. It's got to be a tough job. Yeah, absolutely. We can take a picture. How are you? What's your name?
I'm Sharon.
Nice to meet you, Sharon.
Hi.
Have you ever seen it here this quiet?
Never.
Never?
No,
Wow.
never.
How do you think the naked cowboy keeps warm?
Wow, he must have some hot blood in him.
Of course, he's the naked cowboy. Right here across the street are the holiday shops. There are quite a bit of stores here, and usually there's a pretty big crowd, and it's tough to kind of move around. You often bump into people, but this year, things are definitely a little bit different. There's a bar, you can get some liquor to keep you warm. This place smells amazing. The scent is just pouring out, bringing people in. That's probably why there's people inside. Definitely thinner crowds than in years past, that is for sure. I guess the benefit of that is that if you live around here and you need to come to this area of town and get something quickly, you'll be able to do that without particularly long line. Right here's the ice rink. I am not a great ice skater, but since there's not too many people out here, I don't think I would be crashing into anyone. Usually there's a long line, but look at that. No line, you can just get right out on the ice. That's awesome. Now there's also a whole bunch of little restaurants and stuff here as well. And if you come here and you want to take advantage of those, there are heat lamps all over the place, which is good. And then these people right here get their own private igloo. That's pretty sweet. Oh look, this one's open. It's cozy in here. Comes with a space heater. That's not a fire hazard. This is definitely what you call making the best of it. Let's head over to Rockefeller Center. Look at that. You got a great view of the Chrysler Building. It doesn't get the same hype as the Empire State Building, but it's my personal favorite out of the two. Right now, walking north on 5th Avenue on our way up to Rockefeller Center where the tree is, and this is another area where you'd expect things to be busy. Overall, it's still quiet, but there are people out and about, that's for sure. But you know, even with it being busier here than it was in either of the other spots we checked out, I can't imagine that this is enough foot traffic for these retailers that have leases here to pay their rent. This doesn't really look sustainable. Gotta give H&M some credit. They've had a store at all of the locations that we've visited. I buy their cheap clothing, but I don't recommend it. And I think most of it's made out of plastic. Let's take a moment to admire the holiday display that Saks has set up. Look at the front of the store, it's totally decked out. This is better than Macy's. But right here across from Saks is the tree. Let's see how close we can get. It looks like they've got some crowd control barricades up here. All right, it seems that the barricades don't really let you get any further than right here. But luckily, this tree is so big, we can still get a good look at it. I heard a rumor that this year, and maybe this happens every year, they had to put extensions in the tree itself to make it look full and lively. Does that make it fake? Good question. There's also an ice rink down here as well with about 6 people on it. It's even less of a line than Bryant Park, which was 0. But there are still people that are out and about that are having a good time, that are making it work. I think that if you're here in the city right now, this is a great time to check things out that normally would just be mobbed with tourists and just really packed. If you're here and you want to go to the holiday shops or buy all of your Christmas presents in like 2 hours, if you want to buy them in person instead of online, you could definitely do that. But I must admit, I had an ulterior motive by marching all the way out here over to 50th Street. I came all the way out here to check out a few different apartments. Hopefully these are good, we'll have to see. And if you want to see some apartment tours right now that I knew were already good enough to film, check out one of these and I'll see you in the next video.